afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing Propagandacast. With me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, off here till 1 vs 1 on Crossroads. In the north, it is Angreifen, fighting for the Oberkommand West, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 7th Panzer Division West and South, it is G.A.T, fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 1st Guards Tank Corps with Airborne Troops, Shock Rifle, and Shock Army. Double infantry for both sides with a single machine gun and one anti-tank grenade bullet. And therefore, G.A.T, we got a Kubelwagen start actually here from Angreifen, and that's a bit interesting. They're not often you see Kubelwagens, but you do seem to be making a slight, tiny comeback. But only tiny, like almost microscopically so. More comes from way there for G.A.T. In the east, we got engineers heading eastwards. Point there seized. Sturm Pioneers out. And there go Kubelwagen gun head eastwards, using the southern munitions point here. Constantly moving westwards here, advancing boldly there. That's going to be a bit aggressive there in some places, a bit risky as the Oberkommand trying to rush their fuel point, like, well, in air quotes, their fuel point, but they're likely going to move towards with their Sturm Pioneers and lights. It's a bold move, though. It could work out for G.A.T, but it could also end up with a lot of conscripts dead or just running. But there you go, he's rushing here. He's hoping to hit here of Angreifen on the curve. He's laying down sandbags, but the Sturm Pioneers going to move in there, catch him right as they lay down sandbags. Fulton moving towards the copper on there, catching another conscript over sandbags. So G.A.T was clearly trying to disrupt here Angreifen's opening, and of course we get into sandbag positions. He might have had a shot, but there you go. And attempts to quick turn around. He's quickly rushing the conscript down there, using the URA to that way quickly gain local superiority against the Fulton. That way, he hopes in just a amount of time he may be able to rush the Sturm Pioneers. The problem is he's not rushing the other squad nearby, meaning this squad is not going to be able to do much. And there you go, fall apart here for G.A.T pretty rapidly. The idea I think was nice, but the execution could do with a bit more polish. In the south-southeast fuel point, they're being seized by G.A.T. We got counter-attack again now here versus Angreifen, hoping to pulling back the Sturm Pioneers that way again. Hope to gain local superiority against the Fultonese, and that way sort of slowly defeat Angreifen's forces in detail. There you go, Fulton squad routed. Constantly there, in this case, didn't take any casualties, barely any damage. 4th squad on the way. In the southeast, we got Genesis the Kubelwagen. Troops are reinforcing rapidly. Bit of back and forth here. Sturm Pioneers got the fuel point enough. He's not trying to rush down here. So again, there's a chance here that G.A.T could pull this off if he plays his cards correctly. Of course, if he splits his men out too thinly and tries to, that way deal with Angreifen, he could get focused on himself, and that way, not win much there. In these engineers being dealt with here by the Kubelwagen. As with all his forces being poured into the cemetery to either be interred themselves, so to put the Germans 3 feet under, or 5 feet or 8 feet, how many feet required. It does mean the Kubelwagen is actually going to have a very nice time on the eastern side, so it's very much a bit of an all-in already here from G.A.T. Since again, if this fails, then Angreifen's Kubelwagen's just going to gobble up and everything else, and he's just going to have a massive fuel advantage. But it does seem like here he might be working out in part because Angreifen is not committing more troops to here. He might be, in fact, he's given up in the cemetery for now. Versus G.A.T. All the way, there we go, retreated. And now G.A.T there with some force being dispatched into there, though using a depleted unit. We got flares up then, of course there's immediate signals to G.A.T if you wasn't already aware that Angreifen's gone for Overwatch. Goliath on the way there for Angreifen, an interesting choice there. Also very early here versus G.A.T, very early on. Digging in here, but with full guns moving in, they're going to be an easy target. So while G.A.T of course figured he would just try and carry the momentum on there from the initial engagement towards the rest of the map, Angreifen is already trying to throw a wrench in the works there, and it seems to be working here, forcing him to actually again reassert their presence into the west, and again slightly robbing G.A.T of the momentum they'd hoped to really exert versus Angreifen. And that of course is what Angreifen wants. Goliath moving in there, Fulton versus the conscripts up close, lots of nasty fighting here. Kubelwagen just continuing to seize whatever it wants in the east. Fulton being slowly wiped out, but the conscripts simply too many Russians with too many guns. Well, Soviets with too many guns. Don't have necessarily be a Russian, obviously. Goliath moving up, the Kubelwagen versus engineers there. The Goliath was a self-propelled demolition charge, meant for blowing apart obstacles and the likes. There was also a bigger version of it, known as the Borgward 4B, which basically had to be driven to the front first before it was then signaled by radio controls to move ahead, and you could actually drive in it. In fact, for the Battle of Berlin, they would even convert some of these Borgward 4Bs to tank hunters with a lot of Panzerschrecks on them. But there you go, counter-attack up north here, controlling a bit of a bad spot there. G.A.T's forces are remaining still a bit overextended. He's now pushing eastward, perhaps deciding that his adventures in the west, might be over, and it could in fact be very, very over. The Goliath's moving in. Oh, scheiße. Let's see a couple out, and there we go. One unit wiped, the other one not in good condition. We've got the S-54s out here for G.A.T, though. That's going to, of course, give his infantry a bit more punch here versus Angreifen's forces in the early game. That is likely why I went for this kind of constant heavy strategy. We got more on the way there, and we got more airdrop weapons in there inbound from above. As SVT-40s are being hauled in. Fun fact, the Third Army was actually sort of intending to have SVT-40s, you know, as sort of the main rifle. But by the time the war began, they did not have enough SVT-40s, so they had to primarily rely on the mercenary guard. There would be forces here and sporadically there with SVT-40s. So, you know, a little fun fact there. There is triple conscript squads there with SVT-40s again. That's going to help a bunch versus the Volksgrenadiers. And also a bit versus the Sturmpanier, so that's not a bad move all there by G.A.T. We got a mechanized rigging up there for Angreifen. That's probably going to be a Lux or a Puma. There we go. Kublan here needs to be careful versus these now upgraded conscript forces moving in. But their own versus two conscript squads with SVT-40s. The Volksgrenadiers I think are going to be in a bad spot there for Angreifen. I mean, he can pop an incendiary grenade to, you know, buy himself some time, but in the end, the conscripts just basically wield too much firepower there, and he's going to need some more firepower of the heavier kind. MD-34s would be a good idea, but Magni's first going to go for the Lux here to sort of push back against G.A.T's heavily equipped conscripts. Now Sandbag's up there again. I think there's his third attempt to dig in with the Sandbag position there. Nothing out of the mechanized regiment headquarters there for Angreifen as of yet. There we go, Lux. Could upgrade his Volksgrenadiers with some assault rifles. I mean, that'd be a pretty good idea to at least increase the chance a bit further versus these upgraded conscripts, and these moving up there. Very good. Only one conscript now without any SVT-40s. Might also see some Dishkas being dropped in, and we'll have to see if he actually calls in some of those Guards airborne troops. Looks on the way there for G.A.T. and for Angreifen G.A.T, though I think it's going to need the support company soon because, I mean, even with anti-tank grenades, it's going to be a bit vulnerable to the Lux without anything sort of more punchy against it. Skirmishing there. SVT conscripts moving in instead today. They deal a bit better damage to this jump on it close, but then again, with Fulton up with an incendiary can flash them out. And we got another Goliath there for Angreifen. Another Goliath. Fulton against the conscripts there. But that SVT so looks like they actually did it there. Very good, very good. Fulton now being focused down here. We got another airdrop weapons crate in there for G.A.T. More SVT-40s. Conscripts versus Volksgrenadiers. Support company up there. Goliath good to go. We got the Lux setting out there for Angreifen. And that's going to be the tricky spot there. I mean, we do get the support company. He does simply pop the field gun. He obviously is very likely to have figured out that's going to come his way, and he does not want to be, you know, caught in a bad spot against that. Otherwise, he does risk his next Sukobliat's going to be in a gulag. There you go, putting towards us in field. That controls Lux. Anti-tank grenade there from the Lux, damaging his engine, giving G.A.T a bit more time to haul up his anti-tank weapons. Nice little bit of respite there for G.A.T and the 1st Guards Tank Corps. Says 3 they're done. Very good, very good. Seizing the centre victory point, seizing this western fuel point here. Angreifen suddenly finding himself in a bit of a tougher spot there. Kubang being dispatched eastwards against his territory there. Very good, very good. Also there, Goliath support heading westwards. Digging in around the centre. There we go, another engaging conflict. The Fulton is charging in there. Might want to use a bit more cover, and I'm surprised there's still been absolutely no attempt, I think, upgrading here Volksgrenadiers, which again would really help a lot versus these upgraded conscripts. Fighting off against the center. There we go, machine gun backing up, infantry push there, backed up by the Lux as well. That's going to be very dangerous there for G.A.T's infantry. He's going to have to retreat here before he gets wiped out. There's a good chance, in fact, of that, unless the Lux has a bit of a hard time catching up there, which could happen, but no. Constantly in there from the other side. But there's no, I think, immediate chance of sort of stopping it before it gets too close. Got another conscript moving in there. Field gun boys all the way on the other side. He wasn't anticipating that, and there you go. Conscript squad does avoid being wiped here. And we got a ditch going bound here to help deal with Angreifen's infantry, providing a bit of crucial air support there. Eastern fuel being seized once more by the Kugelwagen. Looks filling back up here. Conscript seizing the western fuel point and advancing for the glory of the Red Army. Nothing further going on. Angreifen's base looks falling back here. Sandbags being wrecked. Goliath destroyed. Bit of a blow there to Angreifen. Bit of a blow there. Sandbags destroyed. Jaeger's out. To add a bit there, there's an infantry. I'm still surprised that no assault rifles for the Fultz Grenadiers. Almost got the Eastern Victory Point again. Final in the center. Got the field moving up there. MG Fed further dealing with some of the infantry. Good position, though a bit exposed in some ways, and obviously a big fat target. I think should be continuing taking up soon here. Getting that schwerer Panzer up quickly up. Looks moving in here. Engineers routed. Holy smokes, that's a lot of instant bunched up there in front of the field gun while it's bombarding that. In some ways, a bit risky there by Angreifen. The assault continues here. Still no assault rifles for the Fultz Grenadiers. That is very surprising, truth be told. As it is very much what you call a no-brainer upgrade. So the lack of it here from Angreifen certainly stands out quite a bit. Goodwang, by the way, is still alive. And there you go, truck on the way. That's likely going to be the Schwer Panzer quarters. And he's going to need some panzers, maybe some orders on here versus G.A.T. And G.A.T is taken up, very good. He might even just try and go straight for the mechanized armor company and push out some medium armor here. Probably a bit faster than Angreifen potentially can. Yeah, because if we grab the fuel point there with only one conscript nearby, which can't easily deal with them due to the heavy cover and the fact they got the marksman rifle up. Trucking up, that's like the Schwer Panzer quarters around here. Could also try and set up close to the fuel point that way, you know, cover that one, but it does mean that the Schwer Panzer quarters are going to be more exposed and could be hit with field guns and the likes, and it's going to be harder than for Angreifen to defend that. In the southeast, there's the Kugelwagen. Angreifen got too close and got hit there with an anti-tank grenade. Unfortunate, but great for G.A.T. Truck setting up here. Probably wanted a bit over there since it does risk blocking vehicle pathing there a bit. Putting in the way to cover the Kugelwagen's retreat. I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, we go. Exploded. He can salvage it though, so I mean there's a bit of fuel there I suppose for Angreifen and the 7th Panzer Division. Once more they're getting too close to the conscript with an anti-tank grenade and suffering the damage there. We should be able to pull the looks out though. Heading for the eastern fuel point, salvaging up here done. Good work there by Angreifen. Noting no tank mechanized armor company up there for G.A.T yet. He's going for the T7 instead. Could of course push in Angreifen faster, maybe win the fight there, but on the other hand, if it doesn't quite work out, they should give Angreifen a better chance to swing the game back with a Panzer IV, though it is worth noting he currently has no anti-tank weapons. No Raketenwerfers, nothing. We'll have to see how that works out in the end, but he's going to need Raketenwerfers. Since right now, Angreifen has no other alternatives. I mean, it's not like he's got a doctrine that Panzer he's chosen, so we can say call in those and equip them with Panzer Shreks. His Steel Panies have an upgrade as well, so I mean, the other option would be going for the Puma, but that would, pretty much just hamper his ability to get out any armor ahead of the G.A.T. So I think in this case, Raketen is going to be absolutely necessary and crucial for Angreifen to have a chance of winning this, because otherwise the T7 is just going to destroy him. We got Orbsland over here for Angreifen. Not a bad pick in other circumstances, but when you got no anti-tank weapons and there's a chance your opponent might hit you with tanks, particularly the T70, you kind of want, throw yourself against them. MG44 needs to retreat. They go retreating. Need to cancel the orbital. I'm calling the Raketenwerfer. Of course, he could just try and stall out onto it, but again, I'd not recommend that. There you go. Cancel the orbital. I'm going for the Raketenwerfer. Best idea, man, actually considering another one. We got Martin going in that's for Angreifen, and he's quickly adapting his approach at least now the T7 is hit. Good response there at least. Good response. They could perhaps have been a bit faster, but that's about it. Max Odiska there, backed up by Constantine here with the Fultz Grenadiers. Still Angreifen's holding out nicely, also sort of nice fluids to the tactical play. I mean, he's not just, bogging down on one part of the map and getting sort of tunnel vision. He's at least able to shift from fuel point to fuel point and victory point to victory point. That will keep him a much more fluid approach here versus G.A.T, which is good. And similarly, G.A.T there is also able to react reasonably well, though he does seem slightly focused on the western fuel point comparatively. Flare from the south, Steel Empire's caught laying down mines. The G.A.T led Raketenwerfer up. Angreifen is not far off from being able to go for the Panzer IV though, and I imagine he's going to go for that as soon as he has the resources for it, and hit G.A.T with it over his head. Luke's falling back, Raketenwerfer setting out. Going to be a bit tricky here to seize the western cemetery. He could try and grab the center, then try and flank up. He could also go for a deeper flank through the edges of the cemetery, and that way sort of hit up behind. Meanwhile, though, G.A.T is advancing rapidly through the eastern side. They're flooding through. Almost got the fuel there for the Panzer IV Model J. Looks versus conscripts. They're taking some damage. The Jaeger slowly finish off. There you go, conscript. They push back as well, opening up the west side now here to Angreifen. Sees the fuel point there. He's definitely got the fuel now. He's almost got the manpower as well there for the Panzer Model. Yeah, and there you go. Kedna opening up in the T-70 at very close range. Landing a very nice hit there against the T-70 light tank, which quickly backs off. Just sitting up, we got armor piercing rounds, but the setup there is not perfect at all. And looks to quickly sweep behind and begin hammering into the machine gun crew. Good work there by Angreifen. And he can go for the Panther IV now. He could, of course, also just try and set up for the Panther. A bit more risky, but no, it goes for the Panther IV. Much more standard choice because it's a lot better versus infantry, which tends to make it very, very popular amongst German players. At least the Oberkommando Commander again, this hasn't quite caught on yet with Wehrmacht players. Anyways, Panther on the way. They're mechanized armor company out for G.A.T. We're probably seeing a bunch of T-34-76s. Seizing the center victory point there with the Jaegers. Nicely ambushed. Kedna for coming up against any vehicular assaults. We've got the Luxus back up there to sort of deal with any infantry movements. Yuri drops there. There's a Jaeger, takes him out, and we've got Lux joining in here to lift around the Jaeger's position. We got 348, that's a form 21. Oh no! That was one hell of a hit there from the field gun. Wipes out the entire Jaeger squad with a single high explosive shell. That is really bad luck. Push the left side there, conscript backed up by a Dishka, but the Panther is about to get ready and could immediately counterattack into the cemetery there to deal with that. Looks meanwhile holding up the center. Pulls moving up, still no assault rifles. I'm really astounded at that. Looks for the damaged engine. Panther moving towards the center. Be careful, there's the field gun. In the east, there's a seemingly slow approach there by Angreifen as well. Heavy fighting here. MG-34 routed by conscripts. G.A.T pulls in more troops. Got the Panther moving in here. Should add the Pinmont machine fire to enter infantry. Good hit there. 2/3 of the unit down. Dishka should be the next target here for the Panzerkampf 4. As for Jordan, there you go. Go ahead on the Dishka. Two-thirds for that one, by the way. Wrong math there. T-34 from 6 on for G.A.T. Very good. It's going to struggle a bit versus the Panther IV on its own, but with more support, obviously, you can sort of swarm the Panther IV and deal with it. Folks moving about here. Fun fact, but the Panzer IV Model J was the last model of Panzer IV before the war ended. It was made to be cheaper and faster to produce than previous models of the Panzer IV. Also had to contend with the lack of resources, which included the resources necessary for the generators for the turret, so it became a hand-crank turret on the Panzer IV Model J. Fun fact, they also had larger fuel tanks, which was a bit light, and in theory to get more range. But I was just, a lot of them were just basically design decisions to make them easier to produce. And I think they managed to cut off a reasonable amount of the price for that, actually. Of course, it ended up being slightly not cost effective anyways, because the Führer by that point ended up deciding to hard limit how many Panzer IVs could be produced every month. Though, apparently, he had actually wanted to stop Panzer IV production. That, well, it wasn't the first time, but they managed sort of hard caps. I think that they could only make a maximum of 300 Panzer IV Model J's a month, but probably could have made more. Orbital on the way there for Angreifen. T on the foot release. McKenna setting up here to deal with it. Orbital are almost done. Also, fun fact about the T-70 was actually more expensive to make than the T-34, and I believe it was also kind of slower. T-34 sitting out westwards, got the looks here, hammering away there, 9 kills, comes they're taking damage. McKenna up and out, and they're doing some damage. Panzer good to go, Orbital good to go as well, light machine being added, very good upgrade there. Conscript routed, and we got a Dishka defending here, could be a good target for the looks to deal with. There you go. Hartmann also there opens up on the conscripts, taking out 1/3 of the unit again. Another third of the unit gone in the blink of an eye. We got 9 kills in that Panzer IV, closing on veterans 1 steadily. Though again, I feel like he might want to try and other push into here. Should try and sort of set up for flank against the G.A.T's lines instead of just trying to attack forwards here. there's the option of going through here, or there's the option of sort of trying to take the edge of the map and go through here. You could all try and pull a double one, which one would be a pincer movement. By the way, I think like you should be just charging straight in the line ahead there. But there you go, another third of the unit conscript that gone. 11 kills. Another T-Fed force from 6 on the way there for G.A.T. He's getting a lot of fuel, and that's certainly dangerous for Angreifen, since T-Fed force from 6 is going to quickly snowball and just, hit you with a lot of numbers. So Angreifen needs to constrain the fuel flow there. Obviously needs to sort of try and cull the numbers before they become unmanageable for his forces. So that can easily become a win condition for the Soviets. Like, and if they get 3 or 4 T-Fed force 6, maybe 5, they can really just lay down some heavy firepower. But there you go, Panther Force with the T-70, moved a bit too far ahead there. Shot bounced though. Kedma ground the point here. Sturmpani is very close to fetching 2 more mines. Could also be an idea there for Angreifen here and there. And I'm surprised again, we're still seeing no upper upgrades for the Volksgrenadiers. We got more Orbs alone for Angreifen. Double Orbs alone. That's going to be very potent as the infantry. Very potent. And the support weapons can flank them. Obviously not going to matter too much if we charge them straight into Disc machine guns, so it's going to get rapidly suppressed. But there you go. Second T-Fed force from 6 out for G.A.T. Looks they need to fall back. T-Fed force from 6 going here for the Panther 4. Need to get away, need to get away. Oh, Scheiss's rear is exposed as well. That was tactically unsound there by Angreifen, to be honest. You always keep the front towards where the enemy's going to come from, not the rear. And that's a pretty big mistake here for Angreifen. And as you see that G.A.T is quickly using his numbers there to sort of hit the Panther 4 again. It didn't help, he couldn't get out of there fast enough to present the front towards the T-Fed 4s. Now he does have the front, his chances increase slightly of the Panther 4 not dying out immediately, but he just needs one, penetrating hit, then it's down. He needs a blitz. Blitz! Infantry down, machine gun needs to get out there. Close one there. Panther 4 blitzing away. Artillery or air support called in there. Rockets flying through the skies. And there you go. Panther 4 down in the end. Again, he just required one penetrating hit in the end there, and he lost it. He might be able to take out the 2 T-Fed 4s, but of course, this is sort of the other part of the T-Fed 4s from 6 that can make it so dangerous. They're much easier to replace. Compared to the Panther 4 model, G.A.T is a lot more expensive to replace, so even gets one of them, I mean, it's not going to be putting as big a dent into G.A.T as the force of the Panther 4 is going to do to him. He did get the Dishka there, but he's got to remember not to crew that one because he got exclusion in the Oberslag. We got the T-Simmering in there, and he's got no way of stopping that now. So the situation for Angreifen just got a bit more ugly. We got the second Oberslag squad out. He's getting assault rifle or light machines on it. We've got only one full squad left by the way now here for Angreifen. And still no assault rifles. I'm curious as to what you're thinking with that. If it's just he just doesn't want it anymore. I don't know. Flare off. I think he's going for the Panther now, thinking he wants something with a bit more armor range here versus all the T-34s. Certainly not a bad. No, he goes for another Panther 4 in the end. Well, never mind me then. He may have to go for another Kedma for the very least to back that up, so he doesn't get too badly outnumbered. Looks at dealing with the dish cut. Half 8 to 3, and we got the T-Simmering in there, 11 kills. T-Fed force from 6 out there for G.A.T. Looks landing some nice hit in the rear of the T-Simmering, doing some damage, but not quite enough. On the west side we got the double orbs, and there's the conscripts. Noting they're doing a lot of damage then. Ultimately, G.A.T does fall back there. Heavy light machine fight against the conscripts. That does help the Emperor in light cover, that sort of decreases the damage taken. And the Obersten have none. Second Panther fought there for Angreifen and the 7th Panzer Division. Again, creeping out the looks of the demon, the conscripts there, but he's very much in the defensive. He is suffering under G.A.T's increasingly ponderous blows, with a lot of strength behind them. A lot of Soviet steel. Panther going up, the pin machine being added, very good. Field gun opens up in the Panther 4, misses. Panther needs to fall back. And we got air support again, he's going to try and take it out there. Trying to make moves, misses. This time around though, as you might notice, the assault doesn't quite work out too well there for G.A.T since he charges head on. This time the Panther 4 had the front ready, so it has a better chance of, bouncing the shots. Lux charging in, and he's with the field gun. And the Lux goes down, not good. The dish goes caught penetrating an infantry moving in, and the field gun quickly enough. So while he did get one T-34, did lose the Lux, but I guess you could argue that's a slightly better trade for Angreifen, though of course The T-34-76 is still easy to replace. In fact, the looks cost almost as much. So, you know. Another T-34-76 on the way there for G.A.T. I mean, at this rate, by the way, he's getting 45 fuel per minute. And that's basically a T-34-76 every minute now. That's obviously, as those who can do math, a problem. And again, that's kind of shows, say, the big secret behind the T-34-76 and companies too. Like, once you get sort of it going, you can really get going with a lot of T-34s, and you know how to handle them. You can be very, very nasty. But obviously, you don't know how to handle the T-34-76. Obviously, going to not quite get you the mileage you're looking for. Good hit from the Panther 4. Need to get the orbital out of there. And again, he's not far off from being able to go for a third one. And again, Angreifen just got one Panther 4, and he's got no, like, really cheap measures. The best thing he'd go for Pumas to try and counter that. I mean, that could work. That's going to struggle versus the field gun, but, you know, Pumas backing up could be useful. They could be used in defeating the T-34s due to the better range, rate of fire, and the penetration can so outfire them, so they could sort of do it reasonably well. Machine gun down, though. Panther 4, their veterans you want. T-34s is going for it. And we got a Kidman as well here. There you go, field gun on the other side. Panther 4, they're taking some nasty hits. T-34-76 at half health. And he gets it. A small win there for Angreifen, 128 versus the 410 though of G.A.T. That's a bit ugly. Orbital's heading out there. Damaged engine in the Panther 4. It's close to T2, but now it's pretty much there in the water here. And there we go, rocket strike call in there to finish it off. Oh, snap. It somehow survived that, but it can't defend itself now. It's a tiny sliver of health, and there's a T-34-76 racing straight for it, and Angreifen has no way of telling that T-34 that's a bad idea. Also in charge, forces needs to grenade that machine gun before it becomes a problem, but Kedman's setting up there, flak opening up, and there you go, Panther 4 down. Bomb grenade ending years, and now Angreifen is some deep shizer. As well, again, G.A.T just keeps churning out T-34s now, and Angreifen is more and more struggling to just build up any kind of force. He's ulti, I think, fought too much here, not enough on the eastern side. To use that looks, I think, to clear up better room than the east, and secure that territory better. And he probably should have gone for a second Kedman at some point, but that's likely too late now. Veteran 2 almost ready to feel on the Kedman, that's good. Quick hit then the T-34-76. Deuce versus Steel Pioneers. Orbital reinforcing. Healing. There we go, now the T-34-76 out, and he's not far off from another one. Meanwhile, again, Angreifen is getting ever closer to the Panther 4, but with the victory points as they are, and just G.A.T's constant flow of tanks, Angreifen is in a really tough spot. MG-34 on the way. And routed. Try to plan cover there to cover the retreat, not necessarily a bad idea here. And there you go, GG, game over. A loss for Angreifen, a victory for G.A.T and the Red Army. A nasty little fight here, certainly highlighting what upgraded conscripts can do, and certainly ultimately why the T-34-76 can be dangerous. I mean, Angreifen had some good plays, but I feel like his strategy again had a few flaws, and again he should have gone for another Kedman, I think, at some point, and a few more marches in there wasn't great. And the lack of assault rifles on the float's going to be resulted is very much something that stands out there. But also, maybe, he should have gone for a Panther at some point, or at least some Yak Panthers. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell your enemies. Also, a big thanks to Steel Sledge for supporting the Propagandacast by donating. Big thanks to you, Steel Sledge. You're part of my company here. So, this is Imperial signing off, and see you all tomorrow for our next episode. Bye.